Hey guys, this is Brad from Max Rarity, and we have my friend Adam here, and he's going to be profiling his Max Rarity Kagero deck.
Hi.
So, Adam, there you go.
Alright, let's start off with the starting Vanguard, Lizard Soldier Conroe. For counterblast, well, actually, first off, he has the Forerunner ability, but this is the card that was released prior to the Forerunner ability being a common thing. But he also has an Activate, which is a counterblast 1. You can retire this unit to search your deck for any grade 1 or less and add it to your hand. So you're going to go off and get like your Heal Trigger or the Stride Fodder or even the other Conroe, which is right here. And we can go over his effect a little later. We'll go over combinations of what you can do with him, but he's really good. And he just got taken off of the restriction list, so you can actually start him as your starter. So let's go. Put that off to the side. Now I wanted to go on to the main grade 3s for the deck. Predominantly we're looking at doing Draconic Overlord at the end. These are the only cards in my deck that I do not have for Max Rarity. So with him, his first ability just doesn't really matter because we do Clan Fight now, where we're only permitted to do the Kagero units plus Cray Elementals in a single deck. We're not allowed to mix the clans. But his second ability is irrelevant in this deck, but it's a cross-ride ability where he gets plus 2,000 if Draconic Overlord is in the soul underneath him. But predominantly the effect that we're looking at is the on-hit I can counterblast 2 Persona, which means Persona discard, which means I can discard a copy of him from your hand to stand this Vanguard. Now it doesn't have to hit a Vanguard; it can hit a rear guard and still get the effect. I'll go over the combinations a little bit more. As we said earlier about Conroe, which his effect, when choose a grade 3 from your hand and reveal it. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 with Overlord in its card name. Reveal it to your opponent and then put it to your hand. Shuffle the deck, then choose a card from your hand and discard it. So we can go off, and if we don't get him, we can go off and reveal. Let's say we get him, which is Spherical Lord. If we don't really want him, we can go off and search with him a Draconic Overlord at the end, or even the other grade 3 that we're running, which is Draconic Overlord, the Legend. So the second ability for him is retire him, choose one of your Vanguards with Overlord in its card name, and until the end of turn it gets auto. When this unit attacks, countercharge 2. So he's really good. So one of the good things that we can do with him, it's a we have 2 counterblast. We have him, and we have multiple of him in hand, of the end in hand. We can go off and retire him to give him the effect of when he attacks, countercharge 2. Since his ability requires 2 counterblasts in order to activate, in order to be able to stand multiple times, if you can hit multiple times, you can go off and only require 2 because of the combination with the Conroe. Lizard General Conroe. So he's really good in combination with Draconic Overlord at the end. I run 4 mainly because Persona kind of mandates that you run multiple of that card. So onto the next grade 3, I run 2 of the Draconic Overlord, the Legend. His ability is a once per turn Generation Break 2, Counterblast 1, choose a grade 3 or greater Flame Dragon from your hand and discard it. Until the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 15,000, plus 1 grade, plus 1 drive check. Also gets the auto of once per turn, choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a rear guard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit. Also, it has another auto ability, which is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search for up to 1 Flame Dragon from among them, and reveal it to your opponent and put it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Most of the deck is actually Flame Dragon, so that's really easy to pull off. And what I normally get with it is the Stride Fodder or the Heal Trigger, or even the Perfect Guard's Flame Dragon. So a lot of the different cards are accessible through this. Now, as I said, I run 2 of these, so I run 4 of the end, 2 Legend, and then I also run, oh no, actually I run 3 Legend. So, I also have a 3rd Vanguard, which I run 2 of, Spherical Lord Dragon. Really good in combination with either of these 2 grade 3s. His ability is auto, rear guard effect, Generation Break 1. When your grade 4 or greater Vanguard with Overlord in its card name attacks, this unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of turn. So, since the name of your grade 3 is passed on to your Stride, you would have a grade 4 with Overlord in its name as long as you've ridden one of these 2 units. So when they attack, the unit gets plus 5,000, which is really good. Now, it also has an auto ability, which is Counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card with Overlord in its card name, ride it as stand, and shuffle your deck. If you rode, choose one of the named cards, Spherical Lord Dragon, in your soul and call it to a rear guard. So it sets up for that rear guard power boost. And you can go off and go into him, Overlord, the end, or the Legend. And if you have 3 Counterblast, you can activate Spherical Lord as well as the Legend's ability to search for the top 5 cards of your deck. And then if you just so happen to have a Lizard General Conroe, you can go off and countercharge some of those by discarding it, which is really good. Those cards are pretty synchronized. Now my grade 2 choices, I run 2 Burning Horn Dragon. His ability is auto rearguard when this unit attacks. If you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its card name, this unit gets plus 3,000 until the end of the battle. So, since this unit, or this deck goes off and resolves around Conroe, which I'm going to be predominantly going off and retiring for its ability. Also, I have some other grade 1s, like the stride fodder. So this being an 11,000 power really helps because I'm not going to have many opportunities in which I can boost. So I play 2 of him, and I play 2 Perdition Dragon Draconic Neoflame. He goes off and he has the auto ability of when this unit is placed on rear guard, until the end of turn, this unit gets another auto ability, which is rear guard counterblast 1. When this unit, or when your opponent's rear guard in the same column as this unit is put into the drop zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire. So the benefits of that card is that, let's say I go off and have him in the right column and I attack into my opponent's left column, which is, you know, in the same column as the as my right. No matter if I retire it due to one of my effects or even just attack into it, as long as that unit goes from their rear guard circle to the drop zone, I get to retire the one behind it. Or if I use the effect of retiring a rear guard in their back row, as long as my Neoflame is in the same column, I'll be able to retire the other one. So it's got really good synergy, especially with how I said the Legend's ability requires him to attack a rear guard, then discard 3 cards in stand. So if you have Neoflame in the column in which you're going to attack, that's really good to minimize the amount of rear guards your opponent has. Now, next we have 3 Draconic Burnout. He has an auto ability which is Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard circle, if you have a Kagero Vanguard, which since we're playing clan fight, that's always going to be the case, you may choose a card with Overlord, so any of the grade 3s, in its card name from the drop and put it to the bottom of your deck. If you put a card on the bottom of your deck this way, you may pay the cost, which is the Soul Blast 1. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So that combos well with the Neoflame and several of the other cards that we've got. So the best grade 2s that we really have are the, let me go off and put those to the side, are the Emperor Dragon Knight Nihilum, which he has a very similar effect to the Spherical Lord Dragon, where it's continuous rear guard generation break 1 during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its card name, this unit gets plus 2,000. Then auto ability, rear guard. When your grade 4 or greater Vanguard attacks, this unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. So he goes off and becomes a 11,000 power unit for having a Overlord Vanguard. Then he gets an additional 16 when the grade 4 Overlord attacks. So that's really good, since I've already illustrated that we won't have many boosting units. So that gets to the power of, 11,000, 16,000 breaking numbers for guard. So those are our grade 2 units. Our grade 1 units are very simplistic. We only have, I think, 4 different types. But we'll start off with the stride fodders. Their auto ability is choose a grade 3 from your hand, reveal it. When this unit is placed on the rear guard from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do search your deck for up to one grade 3 with Draconic Blade Master in its card name, reveal it to your opponent and put it to your hand. Shuffle your deck, then choose a card from your hand and discard it. That effect is unnecessary. We don't run Blade Master in the deck, at least the grade 3. It also has the continuous ability hand. When this unit is paid, when you're paying the cost for Stride, this unit also gets an additional +2 grades. So it counts for the full amount that's required to Stride. I only run 3 of those. I run 4 Perfect Guards, and his name is Protection Orb Dragon. Sentinel ability, you can only have 4 of the card in the deck. He has the auto ability of choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on the G zone or guard zone from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your vanguards. Very specific here. It can only guard for the vanguard. It cannot guard for a rear guard. That is being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until the end of the battle. Then if there is a card with Protection Orb Dragon in its card name in your drop zone, choose a card from your damage zone and turn the face up, so he countercharges this as well. So that's really good. This deck's very counterblast heavy. Then we have the Conroe, which we've already illustrated his effects. Really good card. The search, reveal a grade 3, search for an Overlord, put it to your hand, discard a card, and retire him, give an Overlord the ability to, when it attacks, countercharge too. Really good. Now we have 2 of these cards, which is Lizard Soldier Belog. It's an auto generation break 1. When this unit is placed on guard circle, choose one of your vanguards until the end of the turn. It gets, at the end of the battle that this unit was attacked, if the attack did not hit during that battle, choose one of your opponent's rear guards that's rested and retire it. So it's really good when they're going off and attacking. I can go off and retire. Let's say their attacker is going to go off and potentially cause some issue. Like if the opponent's running stand triggers. If I guard when their rear guard attacks, then I can guard with this, and then potentially if it does not hit, then I'll retire the rear guard, so it's no longer an issue if the unit would to, or if my opponent were to get a stand trigger. So let's move on to the triggers. So we run 8 crit, 4. It really doesn't matter for this one. This one's just a personal choice. I like the foiled version. Seal Dragon, Biella, something like that. But this one's really important. Dragon Knight Janet. Put this into the soul. When your Vanguard attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Draconic Blade Master in its card name. I know I said that I didn't run the grade 3 previously, but there's a grade 4 that has the Draconic Blade Master in its card name. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, choose a card, choose one of your vanguards, and that unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of the battle. So he's really good with going off and fueling your soul, as well as giving the vanguard more power, and you get a card from your hand as well. So we have 4 heal triggers. The common thing is to have 4 heal triggers. It has auto ability Soul Blast 1. When this unit, when this card is discarded from your hand for the cost of calling Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon, Advanced Guard Dragon, which is the G Guard, from your G zone. If the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1. So it's not really going to happen very often, but it is good potentially if we need to countercharge some, or counterblast some more the following turn. I also run 4 draw triggers. It's an activate, rear guard, counterblast 1, put this card into your soul. If you have a Kagero Vanguard, choose up to one of your opponent's grade 0s, retire it, and that's really good for getting rid of your opponent's starting Vanguards. Now we can go off and move on to the stride units. I'm going to start off with the Blade Master grade 4. He says stride, step, well, it's the normal stride, you know, it requires 3 grades in order to go into this unit. But he also has the Blaze effect, which is at the end of each of your attacks, if you have a rear guard, or if you have more rear guards than your opponent, your Vanguard becomes blazing until the end of the turn. But its main effect is activate of Generation Break 2 once per turn. Counterblast 1, choose 1 card in your G-Zone face and turn it face up. Choose 1 or up to the same number of your opponent's rear guards as the number of face-up name cards: Supreme Heavenly Emperor, Dragon, Draconic, Blade Master, Titan, which is this card, in your G-Zone, and retire them. Until the end of turn, this unit gets continuous Vanguard. If this unit is blazing, this unit gets an additional crit. So it does 2 damage when it attacks and hits. So he's really good. You don't have to flip up a copy of himself. So if you've already got one face up in the G-Zone, you turn another copy of him face up and you're going to retire 2. Or if you just want to retire 1, then you're just going to turn up something else that's not himself. And you can potentially continue to go into him and retire some more during your opponent's during your following turn. So this is probably more than likely the first unit that you go into when you stride. He goes off, and when he hits, you retire 1 unit. Equal number of units on the Vanguard circle that has Flame Dragon in its card, Flame Dragon subtype. So since the stride unit is Flame Dragon and the actual Vanguard, the grade 3, all have Flame Dragon in its name, it's 2. So when it hits, it's going to retire 2 units. Now if I were playing with the Legion, and I was Legioned and going into him, then there would be the Legion and the Legion mate both being Flame Dragon, and then the stride being Flame Dragon. I would actually retire 3 in that case, but that's not something we're doing in this deck. Now we're also running 2 of Transcendence Divine Dragon Nevelvague El Express, which he has the activate once per turn, Generation Break 2, Counterblast 1, choose a face card of himself, turn it face up. This unit gets, during the battle that this unit attacks a Vanguard, your opponent cannot guard with grade 1s from your hand to the Guardians. And continuous, during your turn, if the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 5 or more, all of your opponent's trigger effects are nullified. So what that means is, if your opponent's at 5 damage and he takes a damage, a heal will not prevent him from losing, because it would be the 6th damage. The trigger would not activate, and he would actually take the 6th damage. Now I'm playing 3 Supreme Heavenly Emperor, Dragon, Draconic Overlord, the Ace. The reason why I'm running 3 is he can actually be a first stride, and if I have 4 counterblasts, I can flip 1 of him face up, and then for 2 counterblasts, and then counterblast an additional 2 to go off and make his ability live, because he is a Generation Break has a sort of pseudo generation break too. His effect is activate Counterblast 2, choose a face down Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon Draconica Overlord, the ace from your G zone, and turn it face up. If the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, so that's where the generation break 2 is, sort of. Till the end of the turn, this unit gets -1 drive check and the auto of once per turn. Notice that the once per turn is only on the given ability. So choose a card from your hand, discard it. Choose a card with Overlord in its card name and from your hand and discard it. At the end of the turn, or at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit, it gets plus 5,000. So he's really good when you need to pressure a little bit more by attacking multiple times. That's predominantly what this deck does. Now we also have the G guards, or I'm sorry, we also have one more stride unit, which is Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon Blazing Burst Dragon, which is the GB8. And his effect is, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and all of your rear guards get plus 10,000 until the end of turn. If 3 or more units were retired, this unit gets plus 10,000 and plus 1 crit until the end of turn. So he's really good. So we have 4 different types of G-Guards. We'll go off and start with this one. Flame Emperor Dragon King Still Orb Dragon, which he basically, unless your opponent has 5 rear guards, he gets an additional plus 5,000 when you guard. That's all his effect is. This is the Fighters Collection G-Guard, which his ability is Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your G-Guard, or choose a face-down G-Guardian from your G-Zone and turn it face up. It enables the GB8 a little bit easier. When this unit is placed on the G-Guardian circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards that's grade 1 or less and retire it. So that's going to be really good too. Now we've got Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon Defeat Flare Dragon. So this is the SGR. Now his ability is Counterblast 1, choose 2 grade 3 or greater Flame Dragon from your drop zone and put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle during the battle that your Vanguard with Overlord in its card name is being attacked by your opponent's Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, retire all of the rear guards in your opponent's back row, so they lose all their boosters. It's really good. Now this one's the best one. We've got Flame Wing Steel Beast Denial Griffin, and his effect is Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's attacking rear guards and retire it. So that immediately cancels the attack, and it doesn't matter how much power you have, that unit will be retired and the attack will not resolve. So that's the end of the deck list. Hope you enjoyed.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for watching, and may your lives be as max rarity as my decks. Have a great day.